Today, we take a look at side hustle, the freelance gigger. We understand that there are 1.2 billion freelancers working worldwide. Check out the economy. And now we have to say, one income is not enough. One stream of income is not enough. So today's guest is Mr. Tim Simpson. He is a serial entrepreneur and he breaks it down, the side hustle, freelance, and entrepreneur. They are no longer hobbies, they are no longer options. But first, stick with me. Today's sponsor is Academy of Pivotal Learning, an online and in-person school that serves students 4th through 12th grade. Parents, do you want to ensure your child does not fall behind academically during the pandemic? And maybe they need tutoring right now. The Academy of Pivotal Learning offers part-time, full-time, after-school, and private tutoring across various time zones. All teachers are certified. The Academy teaches core classes, STEM, Japanese, ASL, and a catalog of lessons. Want to sponsor the yearbook club or make a financial gift to the school? I certainly hope so. Visit their website, take a walkabout, aplhomeschool.org. That's aplhomeschool.org. Registration and donation links are there. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are on the globe. Hello, another episode here. Her business, her voice, her conversation. Man, if you don't know it, I am totally excited because the guest that I'm bringing to you today, he is going to change your world. If you've been thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, maybe you're still at that day job and you've been hitting and missing with a few things. You just need some guidance. I have Tim, the Motivator, here with me. He helps employees and aspiring entrepreneurs start profitable businesses, side businesses. And the operative word that caught my eye is profitable. So Tim Simpson, thank you for joining me here today.
Thank you for having me, Margot.
Oh my goodness. I've been watching this gentleman over on LinkedIn for some time. Follow his posts. I know that he's a serial entrepreneur. And let me just get in fangirl mode. I love your work. I love what you're doing for not only for our people, but for all people. I thank you.
I
It takes
appreciate
a
it.
certain person.
I appreciate it.
Let me ask you one thing in particular. What is this thing of the gig industry and freelancing? Because I know that they're bigger than buzzwords that came up during COVID. Where do we stand with those words, Mr. Simpson?
Okay, good question. So, all right, we live in a digital era. So just say most of our communication is digital. The biggest companies in the world are digital, from Netflix to YouTube, Facebook, IG. So we're in a digital world. So with that being said, anybody with a cell phone, which most people got a cell phone, or a computer can monetize their skills. Now you can do it freelance, which is, you basically have a skill, you create a business, whether it's a sole proprietorship or LLC, and then you market your products and services. All right. Now they also have a lot of websites that make it easier. So now you have a site called Fiverr, Fivver, whereas whether you're a graphic designer, an editor, a videographer, you can basically create a profile and start bidding on gigs and make money. They got websites and apps for people that cater. So you don't even have to have a food truck or a restaurant now. If you cater, you can get on, just Google catering apps that, produce gigs, set up a profile, and then you start bidding on some of the gigs. So it's just wide open now to where anybody, anywhere can make money.
Wow. You know what? It's just that easy, correct? If you if you're ready, if you are ready, it's just that easy. Is that what I hear you say?
And I would say start before you're ready.
Because you're going to
expound upon that as you go. Start before you're ready.
Okay, I like that. Start before you're ready. So how do we get the idea, and what does our start look like, Tim?
Okay, so I usually do like a quick startup. So I'm gonna just give you a basic, really simple formula to get started. So I call it, so it's 5 W's plus 1 H. So 5 W's: who, what, when, where, why, and then plus 1 H, which is the how. And just say each W represents a part of your business. So you're basically putting it together by answering those questions. Like, who would be like your company name? What would be like your products and services? When could be like a start date. All right. Where could be, okay, where you're going to service clients at. And then why would be your magical why. Like, why are you starting this business? Now, for me, I usually give people a generic why. So I went into business for 3 F's: financial freedom, flexibility, and family time. Too easy. All right. And then your how would be advertising, marketing, sales, and promotion. Once you answer all those questions, you got a miniature action plan and you just get started.
I mean, you just reeled it on off and took away all the excuses. Financial freedom, family time, and what was the other F?
Flexibility.
Flexibility. Isn't that what everybody wants? Right. So, Tim, you just set a person up to get into business, to start business. You took away all of those. I'm fitting to, I can't afford to, I don't know how to. I know you've heard all of these excuses before, haven't you?
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to add one to there. So some people will be like, I'm going to start my business or do this and that someday. So there is no such thing as someday. You have a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but there's no such thing as someday. That's why it usually never happens or takes too long, because there is no such thing as someday. So what you want to do is, so it's a quote that says, a goal without a date is just a dream. So a goal without a date is just a dream. So that someday, you just need to put a date on it, like February the 10th, February the 15th, March, whatever. And then that way it is someday because you got a date to it.
Ooh, we see, I mean, you just giving us so much. I can tell right now, you're just going to flood people. You're going to convict somebody. You're going to call somebody to fool around and use the structure that you've just given us. And someday is today for someone. Yes. This is what I'm talking about. We overthink things. And Tim, what do you think about how the fact that sometimes people want to explain things to us, but they have it in such a roundabout way until we feel defeated? I can't do that before we even get out the gate. And that's strategic because they know you on to something and they won't kick you up out of the game early on. What do you think about that?
Well, I would say Les Brown calls them energy vampires. So he said, and then I also heard him and a lot of other speakers say, don't tell your big ideas or your dreams to small-minded people. So just say, if you're looking for encouragement or feedback, ask somebody that's already in the field doing it, preferably doing what you're doing. Now, yeah, you're gonna run into some opposition because everybody don't openly share their secrets, but there are a lot of good people out here that will say, okay, well, you need to do this and that, or try this first, and they'll kind of, give you some expertise and advice to get started and dodge a few challenges.
Got you. And you definitely can help a person dodge a few challenges. You can hold a person accountable, because once you get that date set, somebody besides yourself better hold you accountable so that life doesn't back you down. But I want people to know that you own a food truck. I mean, you are not a novice. You're not new to this thing of business. So will you kind of walk us back on how you became, you came up, the 5 F's, the 4 F's, 3 F's, but does entrepreneurship run in your family? How did this whole thing come up? Have you always been an entrepreneur?
Okay. All right. So not to make myself sound like the brightest kid, but so we'll always start with my parents. So I had a really great parent. So great stepdad, great mom, great biological father. So I had aunts and uncles on 3 sides, grandparents on 3 sides, older cousins. So I had a lot of people that poured into. So my stepdad and my mom started us off on a good track by making us do chores, which instilled discipline and work ethic. So I've been multitasking since a kid, between school, sports, a job, and chores. I was always used to doing multiple things. So serial entrepreneurship for me came easier because I've been doing it since I was a kid. So I always credit my parents for that because that's where I got the foundation from. And then from there, I started my first business at 8, second one at 10, third one at 12. And then from age 19 to now 40, 16 plus businesses in 8 different industries.
I'm going to give you a hand clap on that, brother. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes,
and you are far from being a old man, but this mindset and taking what's been given to you and making lemonade, to the old cliche, out of it. I'm sure it was not always an easy road. It was always a road where you learned and you added this on, and okay, I see this and somebody gave me this information, or I peeped that. Now I'll do that. I'll just to learn. You are a man in motion. That's the way I see you.
Yes, ma'am. So I had a lot of mentors. When I got into college, I started reading more. So I didn't always like reading, middle school, high school, probably first year in college. But then I started reading Black Enterprise, Small Business Opportunities Magazine, Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad Poor Dad. And then that kind of set me on my journey to personal development. So Henry Ford, the founder of General Motors, all right, really successful company, multi-billion-dollar company. He had a 4th grade education. But one of the things he said was, a formal education will help you earn a living. Self-education will help you earn a fortune. So self-education is you getting on YouTube, asking the questions and watching the videos. You Googling things and reading the information. You getting mentors. You hiring coaches. You learning from other people's experiences. So that's self-education. And he said that'll help you earn a fortune. So I've been fortunate to be, blessed with eyesight and hearing to where I can jump on YouTube, I can get on Google, and I just consume the information. And then coaches and mentors.
It keeps you ready, doesn't it, for opportunities that come?
Absolutely.
Gosh, what can I say? You started reading Black Enterprise and all kinds of trade magazines and just really immersed yourself into this thing of being an entrepreneur. When I look at the state of the workplace, culture, the economy, I heard someone say that Black folks in particular, we had better get our own. We had better build our own businesses. And, you're Black, I'm Black. Sorry about someone who says, oh, she's only talking about Black folks. Yeah, but at this moment, I only want to hear from you concerning the state of Black folks, entrepreneurship, and why it's so important, even more important right now.
All right. Well, being that it's Black History Month, I'm going to use a Martin Luther King snippet. So he was saying that most people tell us to pull up ourselves by our bootstraps, whereas other, races and nationalities were given land and grants from the government, whereas we had a 300-year setback, the atrocities and tragedies and dramatic experiences with slavery. So that means we are at a 400-year deficit, meaning we didn't have the opportunity to build generational wealth, to pass down land and houses and businesses. So it's really, really important for us to engage in economic empowerment now. So I tell people like this, we're playing in a real life game of Monopoly. So just like the board game, the objectives are buy land or property, buy or start businesses, stay out of jail. So that is basically what a capitalistic society is. Think Monopoly.
Think Monopoly. Oh my goodness. And who doesn't know Monopoly? And once you get that go to jail, go straight to jail, it's like your feathers just ruffle. But you know what? I love that analogy. The thing about even once you got the go to jail card, you knew you were going to get out. So if you make a mistake while you are an entrepreneur, Once again, get with Tim, someone who knows what's going on. Don't stay in jail and say, oh, I'm a failure. I don't know how to do this. We have to keep going in spite of our ups and our downs. What say you to that, sir?
Oh, absolutely. Henry Ford. I'll use another quote from Henry Ford. He said, failure is the opportunity to start again more intelligent. So failure is the opportunity to start again more intelligent. So most people, like you said, fear immobilizes.
Yeah.
But if you only knew your biggest lessons in life will come more so from your failures than your success, then you'll just, like Nike say, just do it. All right. And then you'll know how to adjust from here. And then my thing is in business, I don't feel like you can fail because you're going to learn from it. And even now, you can make money off of your failure. You can tell your story. You can write a book. You can create a t-shirt line. You can talk about it on podcasts. So I only believe in failure. So I say you only fail when you quit. So as long as you're still pursuing, your dream, your aspirations, your ambitions, you can't fail.
I love that. I hope somebody heard. I'm going to make sure that I repurpose. We're going to play this on Friday, but we are going to repurpose this and repurpose this because, Tim, you have given us so much information. I mean, this is phenomenal. This is as some would say, Rhema word. We need to hear this because the chips are stacking up against everybody in this world. We see the great resignation. I am speaking with people all over these United States who have said, deuces, I'm out. I'm doing my own thing. After 26 years, I said, deuces. Hey, they didn't have to fire me. I quit. A good job, as my daddy would say. Why are people doing that? And once they make that decision, then how do they get their feet on the ground? Tim Simpson, you have given us the framework. You have given us the building blocks and the steps today. And for that, I really, really thank you. I don't want to leave this conversation without you giving us one more piece of advice for the person that just might still be on the fence. And I know we can't beg people. It's not even our job to do that. Right. But I just feel as though somebody needs just one more word of encouragement because life has a way of discouraging. Your family has a way. You've given that dream over to the wrong people. And now you're saying, oh, I thought I heard right. I thought I heard what I was supposed to do, but now look at me. I'm on the side of the road and they got the violin out. Can you just say you are the motivator, one more piece of life for that person?
Well, I'm gonna give you a little paragraph then. All right. So the average American, all right, and this is just a regular job without a business, anything additional. So the average American is 2 paychecks away from being homeless. So we ain't even talking about taking a risk, starting a business. Working, so it's this thing called the working poor. That's over 70% of people working. So even without the additional stream of income and taking risks in business, the average American is 2 paychecks away from being homeless. Whereas the average millionaire has 3 to 7 streams of income. So I always tell people like this: if you just have one income, you already playing it too close because anything can happen. Like you said, we're going through paradigm shifts where jobs are laying off, they're closing, they're outsourcing, they're downsizing. So if you just have one job, that's when you should be very nervous, meaning you just got one stream of income. So I challenge everybody to at least create one other stream of income. That's why I said a side business. And that could be just monetizing something you're already good at. Or you can monetize what you're already doing at your job. So if you're a full-time editor at your job, guess what? You can edit videos on the side and make thousands of dollars a month. All right. So let's not make business hard. Only thing it is you're offering a product or a service and you're putting a price on. And then from there, you're just trying to offer it to the most amount of people. So it's really, really, really simple. So if you cut grass, all right, learn a little bit about advertising and marketing. And then it's just a numbers game. Okay, if I cut 50 yards at $100, that's $5,000 a month. Most people with MBAs don't make 60,000 a year.
No.
All right. If you write books, all right, now you got Amazon self-publishing. Like you have all these different platforms where you can get your product out for really cheap, and then it's just a numbers game. So any business, regardless of what you're doing, products or services, learn about advertising because that's the easy way. So just say for people that are introverts, hey, I'm not a social person. All right, just advertise. You don't have to talk to people. You run an ad. You can go on Fiverr, get somebody to create you a video ad, a cartoon screen ad, a logo that talks about what you do, and you just run the ad. So I think about McDonald's. They don't have the best food or best customer service, but they make the most money because they sell the most. They advertise the most. They open 2,000 locations a day, and they don't have the best food or customer service. So that should be hope for anybody, especially thinking about going into the food industry. Right now, you probably cook better than most of the chain restaurants. Only difference is they're in the game, you're watching the game. So you got to get in the game.
So many ways to get in the game. Oh, my goodness. I knew this was going to be good. I knew it. I knew this was going to be good. Tim, you are the motivator. You tell us about some classes coming up. Where do we find you? I know you have videos over on YouTube. Tell people how they can really dive in, work with you, walk with you.
Right. Okay. So I got an IG. So my IG is just Tim the Motivator. So just Tim the Motivator. On my Facebooks, I got 3 Facebook pages. So it's either Tim Simpson, and then I got 2 of them that are Timothy Simpson. All right. LinkedIn, I got 2 LinkedIn pages because I'm maxed out on one at 30,000. So just Timothy Simpson. I'm pretty easy to find. I usually give my number out on YouTube, all my flyers, so I'm pretty accessible. 803-261-5948. Because I do offer free discovery calls just to see if I can help you. And sometimes I can fix your problem in the 15-minute free call. So 803-261-5948. And then my email is just timthemotivator@gmail.com. My business coaching site is businesscoachtim.com. So real simple, businesscoachtim.com. And then I have a few other sites, but from that site, you can kind of find links to, if you want to start a cleaning business, I got a link for that, and catering business. So most of my links are going to be on businesscoachtim.com.
Business Coach Tim. Okay. I'm writing that down. .com, because I want to make sure I get this in the show notes and get this out to people. So I can tell that you are just super duper generous with the information. And I don't doubt that one conversation with you, 15 minutes, you can understand where the holes are in a person's in their business plan and what they're doing, their approach. So I tell everybody, you better get in contact with this gentleman, because Tim, I just have one final question. We waste way too much time, entrepreneurs, I think. We waste too much time trying to figure it out ourselves. We are playing it close to the vest rather than go with the people that can take us to the promised land. And we know that we're going to get the results that we want and we need. What say you to that before we close out?
I believe in coaches, mentors, consultants, and books. Like that's the shortcut. So look at somebody as great as Dr. Martin Luther King. He had a mentor, Dr. Benjamin E. Mays. Michael Jordan, he has coaches, mentors. The best of the best believe in hiring the right people to get them to the next level. So they believe in coaches, mentors, consultants, and experts that do what they do.
Yeah. I believe that. I always ask, when was the last time the coaches, who's coaching you, the founders, who's coaching you, who's your strategist, that type of thing? When was the last time you bought a book? We have to ask all those questions, because we don't want somebody who has not invested in themselves for the last 2,000 years,
Right.
You don't want that. So,
Right.
Timothy Simpson, it has been a pleasure. Gosh, I could go on and ask you more questions, but you have given so much. You know what? Ladies and gentlemen, if you can digest and implement what Tim has given us, he structured everything out. If you can listen again and really follow what he said, you're going to be okay, because he gave you the stats, 2 paychecks away from being homeless. This is true. We see it every day. We have another economic downturn. Where is that going to leave you? And if you don't start today, if you don't build your business today, you don't get that other stream going today, where's that going to leave you and your family? And we certainly can't expect the government to help us, because they have the poor and the deserving poor in their minds. So, we can help ourselves today and forevermore. So my guest, Timothy Simpson, he gives out a free discovery call, and you understand he's a right in the moment type of guy. He can help you get to the promised land, and getting that other stream is, I tell you, the promised land. Is it going to be easy? No. Are you going to be able to sit back and whine and expect that he's going to do all the work? No. But if you are ready, and if you are applying yourself, this gent will get you there. I guarantee you. One conversation, I already know he can do it. Look at his track record. He can do that. So, Timothy, thank you. And thank you, everybody, for another episode. Share this out. You can't listen just one time and be all right. You have to share this out, and you have to listen again. So every sentence is full of a golden nugget, a gem, a piece of gold, emerald, diamonds. Don't sleep on this. All right. I'm through. I'm done. I'll see you next week. Another brand new episode here on Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. I want to thank you for listening to Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation. Couple of things that I want you to do right now. Go to my website, pick up a copy of Her Business, Her Voice, Her Reinvention, how I went from game show hopping to international show host, author, and speaker in 1 year. Number 2, please freely listen to each and every episode. Share them out with your family, friends, the men in your lives. And then number 3, get in contact with me, one of the experts that have been on the show, because I want to make sure that you reinvent yourself. I'll be back next week with a brand new episode here on Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation.